So if you're in the jumping community, you probably heard of THP. The jumping program is held by none other than John Evans and Isaiah Rivera himself. Not only are they the best in my opinion, but here's why. They've coached 4 out of 6 individuals who have tested a 50-inch vertical officially. 4 out of 6 in the entire world. Now, this video is not sponsored, but it's my personal opinion. On my first week at THP, it started out pretty simple. It was just knee isometrics, jumps, plyometrics, and that was about it for the first week. Then the following weeks we started weight training, and that's when I started improving a lot more. Now if you don't have access to the weight room, then you're definitely leaving a lot of gains on the table, and you need to find one. So once I started weight training, I started improving my lifts a lot more, my technique was getting better, and most of all, I was jumping higher. In our group chat, they gave me live feedback on what to do better and my technique, my jump technique. Basically, it was just really helpful, and that's one of the great things about it is that they personally coach you, not just give you some random program to jump higher. Now, when they viewed my jumping technique, they noticed that my last 2 feet weren't planting fast enough, and that was one of the reasons I was jumping lower. They told me to plant the last 2 steps of my jump as fast as possible and keep the penultimate the same length. And when I did this and figured it out, I started jumping crazy high. Now, when I figured this out, I was jumping higher, grabbing rim became easier, and that dunk was getting closer and closer. While only being 5'8", I only needed a 33-inch vertical to dunk, which would be touching about 10.5 at the time, which is really not that high for being 5'8", because I have a pretty long reach. When I started THP, I had probably around a 30 to 32-inch vertical, touching around 10.3, and barely grabbing rim. So by week 3, I've already improved drastically. I'm jumping a lot higher. My technique's way better, and I'm getting close to my first dunk. On one particular day, July 11th, I believe, I was feeling pretty good. I had jumped midday, and it was quite hot. So I waited till the evening, and then I started jumping, and I noticed I was feeling really good. Like, low rims were super easy. Like, I was dunking. I raised the goal to about 9.6. I got that super easy, and then I got 9.9, and then I got somebody to lob me, and that came down first try. And then that's when I knew I could get, 9.10, 9.11, which still counts. Most people think that doesn't count because it's not 10 feet, but most schools aren't even 10 feet anyways. Most of them are like 9.10 to 9.11. They're usually not exactly 10 feet unless it's like an NBA rim or just, somebody built it right, I guess. But anyway, so I got thrown my lobs, and I was missing back ribbon. They'd bounce out, and then on about my 4th attempt, it was the perfect lob. I got about there over the rim, only about 4 inches ish, and this was like 9.10, so I was probably touching 10.3. With the perfect lob, I just barely flicked it into the rim and then pulled down the rim, and it went in. And that was my first dunk. With 3 weeks of THP training, I got my first dunk, and before I was barely grabbing rim. That just goes to show that they are very good at what they do. They know what they're doing, and they're good at giving you the right exercises for your needs and what's going to make you jump higher and a better athlete. The big reason a lot of people don't improve very quick is because they're doing the wrong exercises at the wrong time. They're doing either random plyometrics or just random lifts with no actual planned workout and periodization to jump higher. That's a really good thing THP does. Again, that's one of the main reasons they're so good at what they do, is because they know how to implement that and what to do and when to do it. That's the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, comment below. Please subscribe. It will help me out. And let me know if you guys have any video suggestions. I'll leave a link below in the comments of THP strength training if you want to go check it out.